U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Tonight, we close out Week 7 together with a good Monday night matchup, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Kene Nwangu now out of his end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Kene Nwangu. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota. So a heck of a start to this, and we haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for a team to just score, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. What a pickup this man was last year. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. This defense for the Niners very strong in that victory a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. On the give, here's McBride. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. You look at this Niner defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. That is caught. And he will have a Vikings first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. The Vikings at 500, 3-3 through the season's first 6 weeks. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
On 2nd down, here's McBride. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
Purdy looking to throw. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll work down inside the 45. You look at this defense for the Vikings. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
You know, when actors get ready for a scene, they often ask the question, what's my motivation? But what's the motivation of this group? What's their mindset? What's the problem that they have? Will they create an identity that allows them to get better?
This is 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, Purdy. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And the 49er first down.
A first carry for Elijah Mitchell.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Second and 10. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Purdy now to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Coming through that time and stopping him for a loss was Drake Jackson. Nice play. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Cousins. Into the hands of the rookie Jordan Addison. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Again, it's Cousins. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Jefferson going to go in motion right. Pass caught here by Osborne. Touchdown, Vikings! K.J. Osborne, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to extend their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
Purdy. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Motion to the left with Jennings. Back to throw, Purdy. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now with Purdy. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
This will be fielded at the 17. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. A run here with McBride. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Here comes 3rd down and 7. Cousins now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Play fake. Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone, because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. On 1st down, they'll run with Nwangu. And some room to work. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they move the ball with relative ease.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Another run now for Nwangu. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now Purdy. Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second down and a little more than a yard here. McCaffrey on the counter. And he'll go down at the 28. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Stiff-armed him. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 7 yards there and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. McCaffrey following the penalty. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 68 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Mitchell. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll motion out one of the tight ends. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Touchdown 49ers! Christian McCaffrey with career touchdown number 70. And the 49ers are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Nwangu now from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They go play action. Cousins. They'll roll him out right. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's McBride. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
2 yards, good enough for first.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Play action now, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. To throw, Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. Throw caught there by Osborne. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Second and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Purdy from the gun. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
74 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. On play action, Cousins. Able to get this one to McBride. No gain on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Cousins. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Here's Cousins. Touchdown! T.J. Hockenson. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken at around the 40. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've... Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Purdy. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked up by Joe Williams. Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. Charvarius Ward there to make the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 7. On the give, here's McBride. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 87 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's McBride, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Up the middle they go. It's McBride. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Cousins to throw it. And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big 4th quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting, but obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden...